welcome to the stream. I am so sorry. I got like way behind today for some reason. I don't know why, but we are live now with more Mr. Love Queen's Choice. You all wanted me to date Victor as the main character, and we actually have a full Victor chapter coming up. So for those of you who wanted me to date Victor, guess what? It's your lucky day, because it's a full Victor chapter. I literally only had 2 hours to stream. I need to change up my thumbnail once I get done streaming. I did not wake up to my alarm today. And yeah, that went bad. And hello, Ash. It is so good to see you. How are you, my friend? Welcome, welcome. So yeah, my alarm went off. And I guess that I accidentally hit snooze or something. And pretty soon I woke up and it was freaking 6:30 and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta stream in less than 30 minutes. Hello, Splat Savvy Car. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, here we go. Gameplay. Not gameplay. So, Ash! Thank you so much for gifting a membership. Aww, Frisk will be so excited when they see that. Thank you so much. Aww, Ash, you didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. 4th membership this month, man. That's awesome. We need to start doing like what Twitch does, where it keeps track of that stuff. So yeah, today we're going into, I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Ash. And I'm sure the people that have been getting memberships really appreciate it too.
Right.
Even Victor said that he appreciated it. Did you hear that? He said right. Channel emotes are not shown properly on PC for you? I don't know. That may be a YouTube thing, or you may have to actually reload. Sometimes that can happen. I don't know why, but sometimes that can happen. All right. Let's go into this. So last week, we found out that Lucian hypnotized us and that we thought he was going to leave us. And then this week, now we're doing a Victor chapter, a total Victor chapter. For all those people who want me to date Victor, here's the Victor chapter. And I said to vote Pega out. Indeed, UB. How are you? So yeah. Before I go into the Victor chapter, though, let me get the stuff it wants to give me. Your phone bricked yesterday? Oh, no. Did you get it fixed? Were you able to fix it? You're getting ready for bed? I understand, UB. I totally get that. All right, so let's go in. So now we are doing a Victor chapter. Basically, last week, Victor said that this was the right difficulty for us. And we don't know what it is. Just gonna get a new one. Well, I mean, a new one is good too. So here we go. I have to do these producing things. Producing some videos. You need an interior designer. I have no interior designer. I mean, I am not a big Zelda fan, but I'm excited for everybody who's super hyped about it. But I've never really been a Zelda fan. I've literally only played the Nintendo version of Zelda, and then I tried to play Breath of the Wild and got so lost. Because y'all know me in open world games, how bad I am at them. That could have gone much better than it did. Alright, here we go. I gathered all my files and rushed to be at LFG on time because I already stood him up so many times that he yelled at me last week. I took a deep breath and knocked on the CEO's office.
Come in.
He actually sounds like he's in a okay mood, I guess. I did too. That was my problem. I got so sidetracked with hunting and fishing and all that stuff that I didn't even do the game. I was just running everywhere, doing everything. Cooking. Victor was tapping rapidly on a computer keyboard at his desk, sunlight streaming through the window. As usual, he was in a suit and tie, looking sharp as a tack. It had been a month since I last saw him, but he never changed. He glanced up and stopped typing. "I'm here, sir." I felt kind of awkward at that opening line.
Looks like you've been sleeping well the past 2 nights.
Maybe. I needed it, Victor. Maybe I needed it. You don't know what I've been through.
You don't look like someone who's been sick in the hospital at all.
Are you really that mad at me, Victor? How did he know? How did you find out? I'm eager to catch mini Pokemon. Yes, that was fun. That's fun. Because you don't get to see the Pokemon don't listen to you in battle very often anymore.
How would I not know?
Well, everybody told you I was in hospital.
It's been a month and you're still slow as always.
Dude, what? Yeah, unlike you, who got even snarkier over the same time period, I see. I thought he was in a good mood. He's in a bad mood, guys. Angie Victor.
Alright, what do you want to see me for?
I had rehearsed different speeches on the way, but my tongue still got tied in front of him. Well, my company is partnering with HBS on a globally simulcast reality show. Guys, hit that like button. It really does help. We're hoping to have you as a guest for the debate. Blah, blah, blah. You managed to catch a level 75 Ice Terra Lucario? Dang. We're hoping to have you as the guest for the debut episode. He frowned a bit.
Congratulations, but I'm not interested.
Come on, Victor, please. This whole deal hinges on you saying yes. Well, I figured he would say that. My heart still sank. HBS is internationally renowned for quality production, so you'll be in the best hands. And the show will air worldwide, which I will believe will benefit LFG.
Listen, I have no interest in wasting my time for the entertainment of others.
His casual, dismissive attitude made me clench my fist.
Nothing to say?
I know you've never been on TV and have no interest in doing so. I knew that before I came. But I will convince you. Victor's brows arched slightly in surprise. He's like, interesting, this chick is going to convince me, huh?
And what's the reason for such confidence?
Because you promised me.
That's so.
When I was here the first time for a report, you promised to come on my show. I spoke up loud and clear, but inside I was still quite nervous. Victor paused and gradually smiled. Him? Smiling? Am I seeing things?
Very well. You convinced me.
That was all it took to convince you? That was it? You're that eager to please. There's got to be a catch. This is Victor. There has to be a catch. Was that a yes? My eyes widened in disbelief. Great, thank you.
No, what I meant is you convinced me to negotiate with you.
But I knew there was a catch in there. What? But you promised.
If I were you, I'd seize the opening to persuade the other party.
Thanks, Victor, for the advice. I appreciate it. That you think I'm so dumb that I can't figure out when I need to use an opening. He looked stoically at me. I began to think the smile I saw really was a hallucination. Okay, I understand. But I will make you say yes. I perked my chin up to look straight into his eyes. This is me. And I saw a trace of mischief. Hello, So Peachy. How have you been? Nothing much is up here. What's up with you, my friend? I'm playing a dating simulator. That's what I'm playing right now. perking up my chin.
Seems I was mistaken.
Uh-huh. About what?
You have changed.
Okay, what's the punchline now? I'm glad to hear you've been doing
I'm
good.
busy, so I should leave you to drafting your plan of attack.
After a pause, he added,
Don't let me down.
okay, so I guess I have to figure out how to convince Victor to go on this show now. Victor the Jerk. It was early evening when I left. I seem to learn something every time I visit LFG. That's because Victor's very good at teaching you things. Victor was sharp-tongued as ever, but I felt this time he actually offered me a challenge. And I will make him realize coming on the show is the best decision he can make. Why did that almost sound like something he would say? I got home feeling a mix of confidence, determination, nervousness, and hope. Making a decision is one thing, but executing it is another. So, what did I do to win over difficult guests before? Suddenly, I remembered what Victor said.
You convinced me to negotiate with you.
He said it differently that time. That's it. Demand. To capitalists like him, profit and demand outweigh any superficial achievement like fame. But yeah, I am glad to hear you're doing good, so peachy. With that settled, I got to work on the annual report for LFG. News clippings covered the desk, and I stuffed the document envelope to the point of bursting. I stretched and admired my handiwork. LFG's profit trends and market share for the past years, and an HBS benefit analysis. All of the numbers, which if I was actually this person, I could not do because I suck at math. I don't math. Still, I felt like I was missing something. I racked my brain as I spied Victor's smug face on a magazine cover. Your designer headphones are zinc layered? But they didn't put... Oh, no! They didn't put your white seahorses into the game until 5 months later. Yeah, see, I'm still waiting for my outfit from Splatoon 2. Hello, King! Welcome to the stream. I need the Anaki yellow cuff. And, I think it was the red Moto boots. Hello, Mr. Among Us. It has been a while, but how are you? But no, I get that. I hate that they left so much clothing out of Splatoon 3. No, you're good. You're good. I just saw seahorses and I was like, yeah, it's probably a name of a thing they use. It's okay, Mr. Among Us. Nobody is required to be at the streams. Nobody. And like with this stream, this one is more of a... Not everybody's gonna like the game, and I know that, so I don't always expect people here. So yeah, no, you're good, Mr. Among Us. Hello, Orville! Welcome to the stream! Indeed, I appreciate that. That's really sweet. You had a mental breakdown about whether you're talented or not? I mean, I have mental breakdowns like that all the time, but I'm sure you're as talented as you think you are. I don't think people would tell you you're talented if you're not. You had to substitute the oyster clogs temporarily. I get that. I'm doing good, Orville. How have you been? I'm dating Victor, apparently. It was the same arrogance as in every photo. Like he's never failed before. Failed. Yes, that's the key. If I include LFG's past failures in the entertainment biz, it should make for a stronger case. I was struck by my own genius. Guess this was what Victor meant by saying I've changed. Isn't that kind of manipulative? I feel like that's kind of manipulative. Be like, hey, I want you to be on this show. Here's all the, all the good numbers. And here's all the awful numbers. Great job. Aw, Mr. Among Us, thank you for that $4.99 donation. I really appreciate it. I'm really, really sorry for not being at much of your streams recently. I've just been very busy with a lot of stuff. I'm glad to be here. You are fine, Mr. Among Us. You are fine. Please, please. Don't feel bad. It happens. It happens. Life comes in and can sometimes catch us off guard, and that is okay. Oh man, that was a very delayed reaction on my stream's end. Sorry about that, guys. But no, thank you, Mr. Among Us, for that $4.99 donation. I really appreciate it. Pegasus X Victor and Gru. I mean, I like Victor okay, but I'm not like a big fan of Victor. But I also, because he's such a jerk. Then I realized it was already noon the next day. Oh no, I didn't sleep at all, and I have to run and try to convince Victor. I took off for LFG and accidentally bumped into someone as I was hurrying into the building. Hey, watch where you're going, Pegasusangel YT. You're always in a rush when you come here. Sorry, Goldman. Is Victor in his office? He's out, actually. Do you know where he went and when he'll be back? Sorry, I don't. He didn't tell me this time. I got impatient and couldn't afford to wait around for him. Pegasus X Nimona, no! Please let me know as soon as he comes back. I couldn't keep wasting time like this. I hustled back to my office and called Victor. The party you're trying to reach is unavailable. Please wait and... Dang, he's not available. But no, I like Gru too. Gru is awesome, but I don't think I'd want to date Gru. I couldn't reach him after several tries. A big departure from his usual pickup on first ring. Okay, Nimona Nimona is not gooder than stupid Victor. Nimona is a stalker. Victor's just super controlling. Your group. Hello, Claire. Welcome to the stream. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. It does mean a lot to me when you do. If you're coming in, I really appreciate if you hit the like button if you're having fun. I didn't get Splatoon 1. Yeah, I got into Splatoon. I got into the Splatoon franchise whenever I started Splatoon 2 as well. It was actually in 2017, one of the employees at GameStop told me that they thought it was a really fun game. Exhaustion from pulling an all-nighter finally hit me, and I fell asleep at my desk. Can you imagine how uncomfortable that would be? It was getting dark when I woke up. How long have I been asleep? I checked the time. It was 5:15, but still no message on my phone. Where could Victor be? Then I realized I'd only associated him with LFG and nothing else. Suddenly I had an epiphany. He wouldn't go there, would he? Next thing I knew, I was in front of Souvenir. I don't recall Victor ever telling me he owns this place. And I have no idea how I found my way to this obscure spot, or if it's even open. The door opened as I mumbled to myself. Oh, it's you, Miss Pegasusangel YT. Mr. Mills? You still remember me. I was just about to open the place. Come in, please. What luck. I followed Mr. Mills into Souvenir. Are you here for a meal, Miss Pegasus YT? Miss Pegasusangel YT? Might be a while since I need to go get a few ingredients. No, it's quite all right. I'm just glad to see you're open. It does know my YouTube channel. But, well, is the owner in? No, he's not. Just me alone here. Sorry. Oh, well. So Victor wasn't here. That's probably often the case, as busy as he is. Still, I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that the CEO of LFG also owns Souvenir. I laughed when I pictured Victor in a white kitchen apron. Okay, so you're saying she'll eat anything. Got it. Not being a picky eater is indeed a good quality to have. What? An apologetic Mr. Mills came out of the kitchen with the phone in hand. I have to go get some ingredients. Would you mind watching the place in the meantime, Miss Pegasusangel YT? He called the boss. Absolutely. I'll stay put and not wander. I nodded to him. That's not necessary. Please make yourself at home. I trust you, Miss Pegasusangel YT. Mr. Mills flipped the door sign over to closed and left. Hello, Keto.
You know, that hacker show of yours is even a hit in other countries.
Whoa, the hacker show about Key, eh? You're kidding.
No, I'm not. I was just at a press conference and my director mentioned how it was trending in America.
He puts your trust. Yeah, Mr. Mills trusts me. I really am awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm so full of myself. I hate it.
Hold on. Just you? Perhaps leaving someone out who also might have contributed?
There we go. Thank you, Kiro, for not letting me be full of myself. You're awesome too, Keto.
What was that? It was noisy just then, so I didn't quite catch that.
You're awesome too, Keto.
I got such a rush of accomplishment from seeing the show. It was just like when I have a new movie coming out.
I'm happy too, both for the show and for cheering your name or clearing your name over the Key incident.
What's that expression again? Things will be looking up from here on out.
Maybe for you, but things may be going downhill for me.
Oh, what happened?
I have to convince a really, really tough guest to come on the show. Feels like a long shot.
How tough? Can't be tougher than me.
Yes, he can. Much worse, in fact, with poker face that's impossible to crack.
Well, if I was him, I wouldn't say no to you.
I wish it was you. Then it wouldn't be eating away at me.
Let me think. How do other people persuade me to go in their shows?
This guy would be a perfect actor for Sonic. It's Sean Chiplock. He's done a lot of video games. Don't they go through your agent?
He screens them, but I make the final decision. This one producer really impressed me when he flew to my concert in Australia and sat quietly through the whole thing.
Dang.
Then after the show, he tracked me down backstage, talked music, and even offered his opinion about my performance. He made me realize you have to do everything with passion and sincerity.
See, I like it whenever I'm like auditioning for certain things, like projects that I've been auditioning for as voice acting, when they email you back with feedback and let you do another take and all this other stuff. It's really nice when people give you feedback on your voice. That's admirable.
That's exactly who you are as well. Remember when I first ran into you in the convenience store?
But yeah, he would be a good voice actor for Sonic.
Your sincerity really moved me. If my schedule had been clear, I would have gone on your show in a second.
Aw, Kiro. Really? You're not just trying to make me feel better.
I swear I'm not. If you put your mind to it, no one's gonna say no to you.
You decided on Team Courage? I'm doing good, Jevil. I'm doing good. But that's awesome. Hopefully Team Courage will be good. Alright, time to produce another show. Hashtag Team Power is what you are, so peachy. I haven't said what mine is yet because I don't want people to choose one just because they know I'm on it. So I keep it pretty quiet. But anybody who's been part of my streams for a long time and knows what my Hogwarts house is probably knows which one I chose. Unicorn Devil's on my computer whenever I'm not on my computer. That's a little creepy. Hopefully Unicorn Devil doesn't ruin any of my relationships with people. Alright. I was alone in the place. Remembering how I was asked to clean it last time, I shuddered as I entered the kitchen. It was clean, neat, and spotless. Next to the stove was a row of small yellow bowls. Victor sure has his own unique taste. The kitchenware seems so unlike his stone-faced self. Fancy kitchen. Yes, it is a fancy kitchen. Easier to imagine getting struck by lightning than to see him bending over an oven.
How do you imagine getting struck by lightning to feel?
Whoops! Oh boy. Oh boy. I didn't know you were there, Victor. Hi. Oh my gosh, just sneaking up on me. Wow. Yep, he did overhear me. Great. Now he knows that I think he's a jerk. Angel sus Pega. I turned and saw Victor in the back door, staring at me like he would bore a hole right through me. Sorry, Victor. How did you get in?
With a key.
It's like you still don't realize I'm the owner. You're an idiot. Crazy that it's the first time you didn't say hello, name of user, welcome to the stream. Which user? Some of them I've already said hi to. I know what song it is. Even though you can't say it, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what song it is. Peach is so cool. And with our stars, we're gonna rule. Yeah, we know, we know. He had that how dumb can you be look on his face. My face turned red. How long have you been here?
Not long.
I prayed he hadn't just heard everything I said, or else I could kiss goodbye not only the HBS show, but probably our funding too.
When you were hinting the kitchenwares weren't a match for my personality.
Well, goodbye HBS show and funding. I've made a terrible mistake. Uh-oh, now I've done it. Do I still have time to recall that message? I've had sandstorm stuck in my head all day. Hello, Moose. How are you? Hope you're doing well. You missed it. Victor snuck up on me when I was talking about how seeing him bend over a stove would be like being struck by lightning. No, I have not watched the Mario movie yet, but that is all over the internet. You can't get away from it. You can't get away from that song. And not only is the Mario movie version of it, but also I think the end credit versions of it. Yep, it's time for me to go after Victor again.
What?
Nothing. I just meant they looked great, and you have truly great taste.
I don't need you to compliment me on my taste.
I'm just trying to suck up to you so that you'll go to HBS for me. He turned aside, though I caught his mouth perking, and his tone had considerably softened. It probably is on Spotify. I don't know if it'd be on Spotify or not, though, because Jack Black sang it. So, Jack Black probably put it on something more professional. But you're smiling.
Smiling? You saw wrong.
Humph. You always say I'm seeing things wrong. You're here, sir. Victor nodded. Mr. Mills emptied the grocery bags on the prep table. Let's go to the front, Miss Pegasusangel YT. I nodded and turned to see Victor rolling up his sleeves, towering over the table. His long fingers rested on the table. Everything was arranged perfectly. It was rare for me to see Victor like this. He looks quite good.
What are you looking at?
Nothing! Nothing! He looked up at me. Not you. I was checking to see what's for dinner. I scooted out of the kitchen behind Mr. Mills, missing another smile creeping up on Victor's face. After some thought, Victor grabbed his phone.
Goldman, take Carrie's file from yesterday to this address. Also, bring the paper bag in my right desk drawer.
Ooh! Am I getting some pudding? Am I gonna get some pudding? Putting the phone down, his eyes rested on a dossier next to the oven. It read Operation Persuasion. Oh no! I left my foolproof plan in there. He picked it up and thumbed through the pages. Oh my gosh, this is the second time I've left my foolproof plan in a place that Victor sees it. So he sees everything I planned out. Great. Great job, me. It definitely does beat We Don't Talk About Bruno. Although when I let my mom listen to it, because I was like, Mom, we need to go see this movie together. My mom was like, no, we're not going to go see that movie. I'm like, please, Mom, please. How can you say no to this beautiful, beautiful music? He picked it up and thumbed through the pages. Hey, no, no, no. We do not talk about that here. Okay, Moose, you tell me. What would you rather have in your head right now? We don't talk about Bruno, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. Or would you rather have Peach is so cool. And with our stars, we're gonna rule. Which one would you rather have? You tell me. Peaches, 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 peaches.
Holes everywhere.
I didn't mean to leave it in there so you could look at it and laugh at it, Victor. Even he himself didn't realize he was smiling when he said it. My brain is now trying to do a mashup of Bruno and Sandstorm. Nice. While waiting for the food to come, I chatted with Mr. Mills. Wow, how lucky am I to be here on a day it's open? You sure are. And today's the first time I've worked this month. Mr. Victor's been very busy, so this is the first day we're open this month. Jack Black is a good singer. But yeah, I don't think my mom realized that Jack Black was the same guy from School of Rock when she heard him sing the song Peaches. And I had to tell her, yeah, Jack Black, you know, the guy from School of Rock? We know he has an excellent voice. I was shocked at my luck and also at how Victor could let his business go a whole month without opening. Actually, I research new dishes during our downtime, even though he doesn't require it. That's why I don't plan to quit when my 3 years is up. So, you still want to work here after that? Yes. This is not just a job, but part of me now. Don't you feel Victor is, you know, unapproachable at times? Really, Miss Pegasusangel YT? You are too funny. I was either imagining things or I heard a low humph from the kitchen. Victor is overhearing everything I'm saying. Soon enough, dishes were served. Juicy steak. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Melt in your mouth, foie gras, and other deliciousness almost made me forget why I came. Where's my dossier? Did I leave it in the kitchen? I searched all over the place, but couldn't find it. Yeah, because Victor found it. Because you're an idiot. You leave it everywhere so that Victor can find it before you can actually present it. Are you looking for this, Miss Pegasusangel YT? I grabbed it from him and smiled in gratitude. Mr. Victor asked me to return it. Oh my gosh. Mr. Among Us, thank you so much for that $1.99 donation. And yes, much love. I hope you have a good rest of the night. I understand having to go. I really appreciate you coming by and saying hi, though, because I have missed you. I've missed you a lot. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, friend. Yes, I can't wait to see you in the next streams. His charisma, and he has good spirits every time I hear Jack Black. I already invested, yeah. Oh my gosh, I loved Jack Black in Kung Fu Panda. There were a lot of emotional scenes in Kung Fu Panda, and Jack Black he did so great with those. Much love, Mr. Among Us. Have a good night. Mr. Victor asked me to return it. He probably read it, too. Victor, did he read it? He didn't say. Oh, and here's your bill for today. Not cleaning the kitchen again. Nope. It was to respond to online reviews regarding Souvenir. It was already 7 p.m. I figured it would be 10 by the time I got through them all. I sat down and got going. It had 99% bad reviews with only one 5-star rating. From Key. Yup, Keto was the lone diehard fan of this place. Despite poor service and a capricious billing system, I have to admit the joint does serve delicious food. As I made these responses, I was getting a sense of pride defending my favorite eatery. But why was he making me do this? I finally finished replying and saw the kitchen light was still on. I didn't know what to do next. You go in and you say hi to Victor, you dork. You think he just stayed there for no reason? I mean, you get done with your stuff. He stayed there for a reason. Go talk to him. Victor probably read it. But if he did, why would he get Mr. Mills to return it?
Why are you sitting there like a moron?
There you go. Like I said, he's obviously staying because he wants to spend time with you. He was right in front of me, his thin face softened by the dim light. I hope so. It'd be really cool if I did. I've got a couple of projects that I've applied for that I have some pretty positive feedback on, so we'll see where that goes. Victor is such a meanie. He is! He read my notebook and everything. I just finished replying to all the reviews. May I ask, why was I tasked to do that?
Who else did you expect to do that? Me?
Yeah, it's your restaurant. Still the arrogant tone. I'm guessing you refused to waste your time on something this trivial. So you decided to waste mine. Ho! I was getting angry. He looked at me coolly but seemed to be in a good mood. He's smiling a little bit.
Check the time.
I grabbed the phone and saw that it was still 7:30. Why are you stopping time?
You're better than me at this kind of thing.
Aww, okay, that's sweet. I'm glad you like how good I am at replying to people. That made me recall the time when I mentioned commenting on the LFG forum. But was he not over that? Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, journals are very, very, very much private. And I remember when my sister found my journal, and I had a lot of stuff in there that I didn't want anybody to know, and I had hid it really well. Like, I had hid it under my mattress. And my sister found it and actually wrote little comments on it. Oh, she was young enough that I actually felt bad because some of the stuff I said was not good for her to see. Who wanted to see the design of the paper? That's stupid. That made me recall the time when I mentioned commenting on the LFG forum, but was he not over that? So, did you read the file? I looked at him, wanting the truth.
I did.
Of course you did. You jerk. And my heart was about to jump out of my throat. What? I don't get to hear his thoughts on it. I mean, I got to sort of hear his thoughts on it. Hear you voicing the character or look up and it says Pegasusangel voicing that character. That would be amazing how far you've come to. I mean, I always say go for your dreams, but I had so many dreams. And I've only got about 36 more years probably to live. Or a little more, you know, if you think about it. But going for your dreams, especially if you know you can make it, is a good idea. Now, sometimes there are dreams that you can't do. Like, one time I wanted to be an astronaut. At one time I wanted to be an astronaut. But I'm not good enough at science and math and all that technical jargon. I would have never been able to be an astronaut. Here we go. You need a logistics person to handle supplies, okay? Spine is, like, good at everything. We have nobody good for this one. Which means that'll probably put it down to 1 crown, unfortunately. Well, maybe not with that keto card there. Oh, we might actually get 2 crowns on this one. It's gonna be really close. Nah, we didn't get 2 crowns, unfortunately. But yeah, pursuing your dream is important. I have to do another one before I can hear Victor's honest opinion about how many holes were in my dossier. Oh no. Please give me somebody that's good at this. Okay, good. Whew. That means it'll still be 1 star at least, hopefully. Alright, keto, Victor, keto. Ooh, it's 1 star. Okay. I examined his expression for clues that never came. Hello, Starfay! How are you?
So. A plethora of erroneous data with incorrect assumptions about the market.
But I spent a lot of time on it.
However, I'm saying yes.
What's the catch? Why? What? I must be dreaming. What did you say?
If you didn't hear it, then forget it.
I grabbed a hold of him before he could bail. Wait a minute. I sound like the kazoo kid there. Wait a minute. Who are you? You're watching this while doing meh. Don't tell me what grade you're in. Don't tell me what grade you're in. Completely unfounded theory. Victor is an android. Wasn't your other theory that Lucian's a hallucination? But yeah, science work is hard. I let go and got in front of him. I heard it. I heard it. Thank you. He was still poker-faced. I gotta look cute so that I can make him smile.
Unapproachable people don't need gratitude.
He heard me say it. He heard me say it to Goldman. This guy, he never lets anything go. Luna's doing good. Nano was doing good yesterday when I saw her, but I don't get to see her again until Thursday. So, I'm assuming she's doing all right. What made you say yes? Honestly, even though I kept insisting you would, I didn't think it was possible.
You talk too much.
He's just too sus. Victor is an AI-powered business android, hence no emotion. Alright, so who's Keto and Gavin? Yes, Luna is a cutie. I love her. He cut me off just like that.
At any rate, I'm saying yes, and that's it.
Thank you. No. Hold on.
What now?
That's a yes. You will come on the show. No strings attached, right? He raised an eyebrow.
Are you saying you want me to sign on some dotted line?
I'm just afraid there's gonna be some catch.
Idiot. My word is more binding than any paper contract.
Keto's too nice to not be genuine. Ugh, science. I get that. If you're happy and you know it, say me out. Yes. Oh, she did Old MacDonald Had a Farm a while back with me. Although still low voice, I thought it was more pleasant than anything he'd ever said. Outside the window, it was a dark, quiet night. Victor got to the door and turned around.
Are you spending the night in here?
Huh? Oh, no, of course not.
Let's go. I'll give you a ride.
I followed him out, and he opened the car door for me. No, you goofy chicken nuggets. I can't show that because YouTube will consider it something else, so I'm not going to show it, but yes. I'm waiting for the day Luna decides to give you production notes again, but she winds up giving you corrective paps. Indeed. Oh, we might get that soon because I was asked to sing something. So Luna doesn't like when I sing. I followed him out and he opened the car door for me. Thanks. I buckled up as Victor released the parking brake and stepped on the gas. Hot boy. I couldn't stop replaying the scene where he said yes the whole ride back. She will, she will. Yeah, no, you're good, you're good. Luna the singing cat should audition in a musical because she can sing amazing. He agreed. The HBS contract is mine. My snicker was fully reflected on the passenger window.
Save it for when you're home. I don't want anyone thinking there's a lunatic in my car.
That is so mean, Victor. How dare I be happy? Oh my gosh, you butt. I'm happy. I'm not being a lunatic. I'm happy. You butt. I cannot stand this dude. As a guy, that's the answer an AI would give. Hello, killer. Welcome to the stream. I'm not a lunatic. I'm just ecstatic to have done what I said I'll do. Unlike you, pretending you didn't smile. Oh, let me say it a little louder so you guys can hear me. Unlike you, pretending you didn't smile when you did.
You're really sassy tonight.
Nuh-uh, not sass. The truth.
Any other truths to get out then?
Can I ask you this first? Right now, are you the CEO of LFG or the owner of Souvenir? Victor is a duty head and that's worse. I love it.
Is there a difference?
Of course. When you're CEO, I'm leery of talking non-work stuff. Not so when you're not. So if you laugh more often, I'll be more sassy.
You wish.
Victor looked at the girl beside him and started showing signs of a faint smile. I suddenly felt a peace and quiet that I hadn't experienced in a long time. I turned and looked at Victor's somber face. I was surprised to find his countenance under the clear moonlight was anything but unapproachable.
You really like staring at my face.
Shut up! He turned and furrowed his brow. It looks much better with his mouth shut, though.
What are you thinking?
I didn't know why, but I spat out exactly what I was thinking. Oh no. Oh boy. I'm thinking that you're better looking when you're quiet. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, never mind. I didn't say anything. Pretend you didn't hear that. He shot me a stern look that said loud and clear, shut up. I did and slumped in the seat and demonetized. I know, right? Everything felt quiet, and the funny thing was, I didn't feel awkward, but rather a quiet confidence. Yeah, but I'm glad I'm not Pegasusangel gameplay anymore, because that was a mouthful. I prefer just Pegasusangel. Pegasus Sip, indeed. How are you, Shade? When we got to my building, I dutifully reminded him about the studio taping in 2 days.
I know. Here, just some useless impulse buy. Take it.
Bill Nye, the science guy. Some impulse buy. A useless impulse buy, he says. What did you get me? He handed me a paper bag. Is it for me?
Yeah, you can have it.
Thanks, but what do you mean by useless? I opened the box inside the bag and saw a gold miniature camel. Aww.
Bought it at the airport.
I remembered asking him to buy me a wooden camel, a local specialty, before he took off to Dubai. I can't. It's gold and too expensive. You should keep it. Bill Nye is good though. I liked watching Bill Nye videos.
It's just gold-plated. Besides, what do you suppose I'd do with it? I have no interest in it.
You obviously have some interest in it if you gave it to me.
Do you need me to provide after-sales services too?
His face was turning sour. Never knew someone who could get mad from giving a gift. Well, okay, I'll take it. Thank you. I like it very much. I put the camel back in the box carefully and smiled at him. His mood got better after I had the paper bag in hand.
Okay, I'm leaving now.
Suddenly, after walking just a few steps, he turned back around.
I'm 28, only 6 years older than you. Don't call me sir in your texts.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh man, my brain, no, bad brain. I'm innocent Pegasusangel and I did not think of anything else, I promise. Nothing. That said, he walked off. I watched him leave, stunned and speechless, his dark hair glistening under the stars. Victor got home, plopped onto a sofa, and checked out the souvenir comments. The phone soon showed a text from a girl. I love the gift. Thank you, Mr. 28-year-old Victor. I'm such an idiot. What is wrong with my main character? For real. Work's been going all right.
Idiot.
Exactly. There was a hint of joy in his voice. He felt somewhat weird seeing his smiling reflection in the screen. This expression really did feel strange to him. The old stone face was back in no time as he made a call.
Cancel everything on my schedule the day after tomorrow, Goldman.
After hanging up, he grabbed a file off the table. On it was a photo of an unknown girl. He recalled going to the detective agency that afternoon, as per instructions, but it was the wrong person.
Will I ever find her?
He leaned back, eyes showing hopelessness and sorrow. Here we go. Wonder who he's trying to find. Alright, we'll at least get 1 star this time, hopefully. I kind of need 1 star. Jeez. Yep, we got to continue on. Arriving at the studio on taping day, I was awestruck by the mega budget set. So this is what an international show looks like. Looks kind of sideways, does it not? The rather mundane exterior hid a gigantic set the size of a 4-story building. Holy cow. They spared no expenses on this one. I even had to wait for an assistant to show me around. How are you, Miss Pegasusangel YT? I will be showing you the set today. We're going with a totally new indoor setup, so as a producer, we recommend you experience it firsthand. Let's quit giving our age away to people. I want to keep you safe. I was bewildered. Shouldn't it all have been tested already? I'm just the messenger, so please don't make it hard on me, Miss Pegasusangel YT. It's not that. I'm unwilling. It's not that I'm unwilling, since it's good to know the nuances, but I would have dressed more appropriately if I knew. I didn't even fix my hair. Well, at least the tape will just end up at our company instead of going out in the public. I nodded and followed him. We started down a long, dim corridor, with the assistant providing running commentary. As you can see, Miss Pegasusangel YT, this show will have very little scripting. I noticed the corridor was teeming with GoPro cams, a production innovation of HBS. We're replacing cameramen with GoPros to get perfect coverage without any production people getting in the way. Now, about the show. The show has many intricate obstacles and puzzles with extras in black trying to nab you. There are 3 parts to the level: secret room, maze, and final escape, okay? Here we go. What? Go where? The assistant didn't answer and instead gently pushed me through a door and locked it behind me. Have fun. Hey, at least tell me what's here. No response when I pounded on the door. I checked my phone and it wasn't getting any signal. Oh no. Oh no. I have no signal. I cannot call for help if I need it. I looked around and found myself trapped in a tiny room. Actually, a cell was more like it. I shuddered at the thought of being trapped in a prison cell. They went overboard with the realism. Cement under my feet, 3 bare walls. On the 4th side was a door with iron bars overhead. I was legit scared. I've never seen a production achieve the level of creepiness before. I wonder what Victor is doing now. I gasped, realizing it was not only my first day at the helm, but also the day of Victor's solo guest appearance. That means Victor could be nearby. The image of Victor resolving to beat the level popped into my mind. Oh man, he would probably regret coming if he was trapped in a room like this. Victor, can you hear me? Victor! I called out his name, hoping he'd hear and respond. But there were only my echoes. The assistant just said the level wasn't meant to be difficult. Maybe I can get out and find him. I searched the room for any tool or means of escape, but came up empty. I sat on the ground and stared at the only door in here. A light shone clearly through the iron bars, making a box pattern on the ground. I was fixated on the boxes and seemed to hear the sound of a piano playing. There was a thought running through my head that I just couldn't pin down. Why did this room seem so familiar? Why is it so frightening? This is supposed to be a fun romp, not a horror show. I shuddered as a gust blew through the bars. I started to panic into the GoPro overhead. Can anyone hear me? How about a hint, please? This is too hard for me. Are you around, Victor? Don't tell me you already beat the show and escaped. Come help me if you're so smart.
So you do realize you're a moron?
Hi, Victor. Well, I guess I made an oopsie again. That's Victor's voice. I immediately stood up. I am not a moron. Moments. Wooden camel, golden camel. I could probably hold a camel exhibition one of these days. And my neck is kind of sore. Alright. 10. He's here! Did he hear my plea and come to help me? Is that you, Victor? How did you get here?
I teleported here.
He sounded furious. Shut up. You're probably locked up somewhere nearby.
Are you a moron?
After a long sigh, he spoke again.
It seems I overestimated you.
What?
Back away from the door.
Oh, okay. I backed off as far as I could. A loud crash and a cloud of dust later, the door fell before my eyes. Victor stood behind the fallen door, livid with rage, staring at me with dark black eyes. But he looked so hot! But to me, it was like seeing an angel. Victor, an angel? What? What? I could hardly speak. This is how you made it out?
What else? Wait around like a dummy for the production crew to rescue you? Why are you still in there? Come out.
He looked so hot because the CPU was overheating trying to process your responses of how silly I was. I ran and almost tripped over the door. I knew you were clever enough to find a way.
How can you be so happy in a place like this?
Because I'm happy to see you.
Moron.
Seriously, you don't know how angelic you seem just in that moment. Hello, Yuri! Welcome to the stream! He glared at me.
You need to work on your rhetoric.
I pouted, marveling at how mercurial he could be, and always ready to attack and mock me. I suddenly realized Victor was giving me a once-over.
How did you get so filthy?
He brushed my hair. Actually, his body language made it seem more like he was petting a stray dog. Do you think that counted as destroying props?
I'm not worried.
Right. I'm sure they have backups. I liked Bill Nye the Science Guy when I was a kid.
There won't be another episode for this show.
Huh? I looked up and was met with a cold gaze from Victor.
I must have been crazy to say yes.
I didn't even know the specifics they had planned. HBS kept it confidential. But you were so great kicking down the door with just one boot. That seemed to placate him a bit.
Just keep up with me.
You bet. Do you think we can make it out?
30 minutes is all I need. I have plans this afternoon.
He perked up his eyebrows, staring coldly down the corridor before us. He reached back, and pulled me along, but remained fixated ahead. He grunted.
Are you trying to get lost and have me waste my time looking for you?
That was a weird way of telling someone you cared. I won't get lost. I can keep up. His hand was warm, but the thought of cameras catching us holding hands made me blush.
Your face is very red.
Is it?
Do you have a fever?
He touched my forehead with his other hand.
Nope, no fever.
Let's just pretend like I'm not blushing because we're holding hands and all the cameras are seeing it. He withdrew the hand and concluded matter-of-factly. I'm okay. Maybe the stuffy air is just getting to me. He looked at me and resumed walking, only slower this time. Did they tell you they installed a lot of GoPros in here?
And?
So they're recording all this. I just wanted to caution him that we were holding hands and that if it somehow got out... But he just looked baffling at me.
What's that got to do with me?
Then he held my hand even tighter. He's like, he knew exactly why I said it. So you know what? I'm just going to hold your hand tighter. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Recalling he said there won't be another episode, I couldn't help but feel worried. I glanced at his expression. Strangely, he didn't seem to be in a terrible mood.
How did you get the idea of calling me for help?
I remembered you're the guest, so you might be around.
That's the reason? Well, how come you didn't ask the production team for help?
His brow arched slightly. I did, but they ignored me, and I didn't want to lose face with them. He stopped dead in his tracks, a weird look in his eyes.
So you chose to lose face with me?
I mean, I guess, if you want to put it that way. As if I haven't done that enough already. He must have liked that answer, since he almost cracked a smile.
So true.
Hey! I'm allowed to be mean to myself, but you're not, Victor. So, how did you find me then? You were worried about me too, weren't
They
you?
locked my employee in here. It's normal to worry about you.
Just because I'm your employee, Victor. That's it. That's it. I'm very disappointed in you, Victor.
And what did you mean by worried, too?
He stopped and looked me dead in the eyes. Well, I was worried about you too. That place was creepy, but I see you're handling the situation quite well.
There was some anxiety, but it's all gone now.
He sounded more relaxed. You seem to be in a better mood.
You can kinda say that.
Okay. This is interesting. This is interesting. Here we go. Having a quality documentary is not enough without a strong campaign. Cool. Ooh, yay. We got 2 people. Let's speak in English, please. Here we go. Oh, come on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm getting to a point. See you later. I'm assuming you're saying bye-bye. I'm not sure. Alright, end. We wandered down the winding corridor, but we saw not even one crew member. I started to get nervous. This feels too easy. Not one person in sight.
You're not just a moron, but a coward, too. What's there to be afraid of when you're with me?
Aw, Victor! He dragged me along without letting me get a word in. A black silhouette flashed past the side passage. The assistant cautioned me about them. I reflexively tried to hide, only to see Victor striding off towards the figure so fast I couldn't get a hold of him. I don't know what you're saying, Yuri. You said hi, so I know you know some English. But some of this looks like French, and I don't know French.
Hey, where's the exit? Hey, I'm talking to you.
The figure in black just ignored us and kept going on his way.
Hey, you! Stop!
Jeez. Victor lengthened his strides to catch up to the figure. It's probably not a good idea to just end the game prematurely. We made a deal with the production team, right? I followed behind trying to convince him, but he pushed open a door and went into a room. It was very old and sparsely furnished. His brow furrowed as he carefully scanned. Okay, if you can't stop spamming "bay" and "baby" in the chat, then I'm gonna have to give you a timeout. Stop spamming it. I saw it the first time. You don't have to keep putting it in there. His brow furrowed as he carefully scanned our surroundings.
Where is he?
Who?
The guy in black. Where'd he go?
Who? How come I didn't see him? Victor stared out of the window, as if he didn't hear me. I scoped out the vacant room. It had a long table in the middle with some beakers and instruments on it. Why would HBS build an indoor space like this? It seemed too absurd for a reality show. And why did this feel familiar to me? I even seemed to be able to see a little girl lying on the scratched-up table before me. Suddenly I got goosebumps and backed up, shaking my head. Ah! I tripped over something and fell on the table, knocking beakers to the ground. Something scorching scratched across my palm. The beaker shattered and a white liquid spilled out onto the ground, causing a vapor to rise.
Did you leave both your brain and reflexes at home today?
He was immediately right in front of me, staring me down coldly. He checked my hands and found no cuts. I'm okay. Nothing in the beakers got on me. My concerns grew as I looked at the broken beakers. How come they put such a dangerous substance on the set? Thankfully, it was me and not some other guest.
I'm the only guest as of now.
He interrupted me with his typical stony expression. After a long pause, he looked at me.
I regret this.
You regret what? Regret saying yes?
No. Regret letting that ridiculous TV station get to you.
Huh? What do you mean? He pulled me quickly out of the room. You really are pulling the plug on this show? It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
How did this company find you?
Their rep said they saw and liked my documentaries very much and tracked me down. And I looked them up. They're one of the biggest private broadcast companies in the U.S. He arched his eyebrows and looked at me coldly.
That simple.
I nodded. But I didn't know how the show got so weird, or what these mysterious liquids are doing here. Victor's brow tensed up as he looked solemnly into the empty corridor.
I'll deal with you after we get out of here.
Deal with me? A black figure approached from a side passage with a white glow around his waist. I tried to go ask about a way out, but Victor pulled me in and covered my mouth. What now? I could feel Victor's nervous breath above me. We pressed ourselves against the wall as a figure walked by. Victor let go only after the figure was out of sight. What did you do that for? Didn't you want to ask how to get out?
They're not part of the production.
He strode off and dragged me with him. What's wrong with you? How do you know they don't work here?
Quiet. We must get out of here in 10 minutes.
10 minutes? He ignored me and picked up the pace. Why do we have to get out in 10 minutes? We finally reached the end of the corridor and went down a flight of stairs, arriving at another corridor. It was very narrow with closed rooms lining both sides. I could make out the signs on each room. Research, conference, lab. My heart jumped. Aren't these the images I saw in the room under the Hacker Summit? Sensing my unease, Victor began checking the rooms too. Cold sweat poured from my palms. I've never been so nervous on a set before. This whole corridor has felt like deja vu, from the first room up to now. Is this a dream?
What's up?
You probably won't believe it, but I feel like I saw this before when I was young. I thought all this looked familiar, but couldn't say for sure.
You can tell me.
I looked at him and realized he was serious. I don't remember I just remember I was little, and an older boy was leading me by the hand, but I can't remember his face. We were running down a very long corridor with a bunch of other kids. I got knocked to the ground, and the boy helped me up. Rooms lined the corridor like this one, but I forgot what they were. Victor tightened his lips and a deep-seated emotion welled up in his eyes.
Why can't you remember what happened in your childhood?
I don't know. Probably because I was in a car accident when I was little. A light bulb seemed to go off for Victor when I mentioned the accident.
When was that?
He paused.
Do you remember?
The tone was much gentler than one prior. I remember I was 5, not paying attention while crossing the street, and an older boy saved me from an oncoming car. Just like when you saved me the first time we met. He told me to watch out for traffic in the future and gave me a delicious pudding. It tasted a lot like yours, but I don't remember what he looks like now. A crazy thought came to me at that moment. Could he be... Victor just stared at me wordlessly, a soft glint in his eyes. You? Before I could get the words out, I heard the sound of footsteps behind me and someone saying, "They should be over there. Oh boy." We got company. He grabbed my hand and raced off. The hard grip was starting to hurt. We came to a fork. I instinctively pulled Victor onto the left path.
How do you know to go left?
No idea. Call it a hunch. We came to another fork. I could hear footsteps getting closer behind us. My head started to ache. Without hesitation, Victor pulled me down the right side. The footsteps faded behind me, but we were still running for our lives, holding each other's hands. His frame was tall and stout, light softly reflecting off his black hair. Guided by his warm, powerful hand, I forgot all about panicking, the show, a lot of things. All of this is fate. No matter what perils lie ahead, I'm not afraid anymore. Our footsteps and breaths were there. Oh, were the only sounds in the corridor. Sorry, I thought I said there. Everything seemed to become a blur, like we were in a dream. I suddenly thought, running like this isn't so bad, is it? We came to another flight of stairs, but the idea of taking it repulsed me for some reason.
What's wrong? Are you scared?
I quietly nodded. I heard a soft sigh and was pulled into a warm embrace. Victor's low voice whispered in my ear.
Go down these steps, and we'll be out. You've done very well.
I saw the usual reserve in his eyes replaced by a tenderness I've never seen before.
Trust me even if you don't trust yourself. Okay?
Aww, he makes me want to listen. That's such a sweet little line. That's so sweet. Trust me even if you don't trust yourself. Okay, Victor. I will. I will, Victor. I nodded and stepped down the stairs. Ugh, I have to do this before I can see what happens. I hate these. They cut off the story and they make me mad. I love the story. I mean, they're an essential part of making it a game, but at the same time, it's like, can I just the story, please? Please. Ooh, I think I got 2 stars, maybe? No, I got 1. Alright. I have to do another one! Jeez. This game is so picky about when I can hear my story. Here we go. Hot boys. I have to really be careful because I'm gonna have to continue to do what I can to... Those games do be like that. I know. They give you a cliffhanger and then they make you do like 3 rounds of the game before you can actually hear the rest of the story. It's so frustrating. Alright. Cherry trains the dogs. Keto, Lucian, Lucian. Keto, Lucian, Lucian. Alright. One crown. The very last step opened onto a wide yard. Wait, did I see... Did I check out my moments? Wooden camel, golden camel. I could probably hold a camel exhibition one of these days. Kiro, that sounds like a tongue twister. Victor, so what? Goldman, didn't realize you liked macho animals like camels. I didn't know camels were considered macho animals. Alright, here we go. The very last step opened onto a wide yard. Victor never let me out of his arms, walking me slowly.
Don't you want to know how I found you? I actually had been to a place very similar to this when I was a child. And
He choked up a little and paused.
I was saved by a girl.
He had been to a place like this when he was a kid? It can't be coincidence, can it? Fear enveloped me as we got closer to the exit, and I couldn't understand why. Images kept overlapping in my mind. From the depths of my soul, it was a seal torn open, a prolonged darkness. It was my memory that had been dormant for 17 years. My heart suddenly beat heavily. Watch out! A brilliant flash was followed by deafening thunder as a bolt of lightning streaked toward Victor. Victor! I instinctively tried to jump in front of him. Several images flashed before my eyes in these most terrifying seconds of my life. Victor's stern look after saving me from the crash, his gentle face in the night, his slightly perturbed expression when giving me that gift.
No!
Wow, the emotion in that. Oh my gosh. The emotion in that no almost makes me want to cry. An indescribable pain coursed through my body at an incomprehensible speed. The last thing my mind pictured was Victor's cold, well-defined face. For the second time in his life, Victor's heart plummeted in a free fall. The girl, who had been joking with him a moment ago, now lay in his lap, mortally hurt. He would never forget this scene. How did this place look exactly like 17 years ago? Why did those same events unfold again here today? He might not have the conspiracy completely figured out, but now he was sure it was all about the girl. And he wasn't about to lose her again. Not before, and certainly not now. The way her eyes were closed and that innocent face took him back 17 years. Back then, as now, they were escaping pursuit with other kids in the corridor. They got to the yard, and Victor strained to stop time long enough for everyone to flee the nightmare. The effort was about to succeed when a cry rang out. Watch out! A brilliant flash, and Victor found himself on the ground, pinned under a small body. That girl who was smiling at him just seconds before now had her eyes closed. This tiny, adorable little girl protected his life with her own, without hesitation. In the years since, he kept asking himself if he could have protected her better. If he hadn't witnessed her being taken away, wouldn't everything have turned out differently? He vowed that if he could turn back time, she would never end up in that position again. But fate chose to cruelly strike once again, in the same moment and the same place in Victor's heart, where only the girl could have been. He felt chills run up his spine. After all this time, he had finally confirmed she was the same girl who saved him that day, 17 years ago. These past 17 years, he had left no stone unturned in an unrelenting search for her. Even when he had been told the girl was no longer alive. And today was the day his faith and resolve at last paid off. She was still alive, and she still bantered with him, argued, worried over him, and gave him nicknames. He was filled with joy from finding his long-lost treasure. But now, holding the girl in his arms, he was filled with sorrow. A genuine sadness that had been extremely rare in his life pulsated through him. He discovered the heart could do and feel so much more than just pump blood. Man, my neck is sore. Woo! Victor held the girl in his arms. Oh, I missed it because I was looking at the picture. Victor held the girl in his arms. A rage was ignited in him that twisted the space around him, knocking down the figures in black, charging from either side. He strode forcefully forward, step by step, cradling all the warmth in his life with both arms. With these few steps, he walked through all the seasons of 17 years of a life missed out on from spring to winter. Every step forward would be full of determination, defiance, and destruction. His eyes turned the solid black of a moonless night, yet radiated steely grit.
It matters not who you are, or what you plan to do. I will never let you hurt her again.
Oh, he angry. He angry. His powerful voice rivaled the howling thunder. He then whispered gently into the girl's ear.
Sorry I came late. I won't lose you again. Nothing and no one else will hurt you.
Hello, Mango Ninja. You came in at a dark part of the story. How are you?
From now on, let me be your shield just as you did for me. Okay?
He had never spoken more gently in his life. The girl's eyes were still shut and showed pain. But he didn't notice one of her fingers wiggled weakly. He picked up the pace, eyebrows knit. Lightning ravaged the landscape outside the wall, splitting asunder the ink-black sky. The dark, heavy layer of clouds pressed down broodingly on the world below. Thunder and lightning raged alongside a shrieking gale as the world was thrown into chaos. That didn't stop Victor, who braved the elements as if they simply did not exist. All around him, sirens began to blare. Writing appeared on every wall. The Queen has awakened. We will rule the world. Light illuminated the girl's near-transparent pale face. A massive bell sounded as a crimson streak cut across the horizon. A dark silhouette appeared behind Victor, a brilliant flash flickering in his hand. The Key of Solomon appeared in his palm. The prophecy of Fatima would soon reemerge. Pandora's box has been opened. The angel with a sword in his left hand has arrived.
Don't you see? Everything's just getting started.
Whose voice is that? No, I'm not gonna go to the main story of season 2. Whose voice was that? I couldn't tell. Alright, let's see what this wormhole has to offer here. Clang. A blood-stained scalpel fell onto a tray. Oh my gosh! Dang, this got dark super quick. Number 11. A supremely calm voice spoke from behind a surgeon's mask, who didn't even take his eyes away so much as a glance at his assistant. You're playing Breath of the Wild in preparation for Tears of the Kingdom? Yes! So many people are excited about Tears of the Kingdom. A clean scalpel was nearly instantly placed into his hand. It was a child of only 8 or 9, wearing the same uniform as the doctor, a pair of still eyes peering over his face mask. He expertly picked out the scalpel that the doctor had named from amongst a wide array, even having some at the ready before the surgeon even opened his mouth. The whole scene felt very off-putting. The boy clearly wasn't any taller than the operating table itself, yet it seemed like he'd done this a million times. An 8-year-old with a scalpel? What? His gaze swept over the girl lying on the table, but nothing in the emotions of that gaze remotely befitted a boy of his age. This bizarre surgery continued for several hours until it finally ended. Faint beads of sweat had formed long ago on the forehead of the boy, performing his duties so diligently. You take the subject back to the room, and be sure to wait beside her until she wakes up. The boy's expression remained unchanged as he gave a light nod. In a small, gloomy white room, the I can't even say it, girl was still under. A hand exposed outside the blanket was gaunt and pale, its bluish veins distinctly visible. The boy, sitting to the side, looked out the window upon the lush camphor trees, watching the wind rustle through the leaves, thinking about who knows what. When he turned to look at the girl, he discovered that her eyelids were fluttering, seemingly just about to open up.
You're finally awake.
Wait, what? This is a boy. This is a little 8-year-old. The wind blew harder and the branches shook fiercely, as if in warning of a coming storm. In the blink of an eye, the scene before me transformed again. Okay, so I'm dreaming this, apparently. That was Lucian's voice. This day has finally come. The man on the screen couldn't contain his excitement. His eyes burned across the screen as he looked at the person in front of him, the scar across his face becoming more and more prominent.
And not only that.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Only now this guy's called Ares. This guy's called Ares, even though he looks like Lucian. So, yeah. Okay. Totally not sus. The person sitting in the room looked up. He was wearing all white, looking particularly elegant and refined, but his expression was completely detached from his warm appearance.
What do you think about other worlds?
The person on the other side of the screen froze, eyes burning with fervor. Ares, you've entered the Queen's dreamscape. Has the dream experiment already succeeded? Last time, getting that Solomon code after the experiment failed, all the data got automatically purged. Now, the Queen's dreamscape is the only portal there that we control. Something seemed to occur to the man, then a moment later he gave a slight nod.
The dream experiment is only half complete.
He paused slightly and his eyes grew profound and still.
But I have a theory that perhaps another door has been opened.
Another door? Then the day we've been anticipating is soon at hand.
Before that, there is still much that needs to be resolved.
The man quickly shut off the video feed, and just then there came a knock at the door. Ares, 3684's lab report is here. The person who entered handed him a thick report, and on its cover was printed a tiny S symbol. The man glanced at the symbol, but he didn't open the report.
Going forward, we'll be conducting a new evolution experimental project. Ask 3684 if he'll accept.
Who's 3684? But that project... The assistant spoke out in surprise, but before he could finish, the words were swallowed back under the man's steady gaze.
He will accept.
He spoke as if he was just stating an everyday fact. The assistant lowered his head in self-reproach, then took the experimental project document and left. Ares turned his eyes back to the report, reading through it page by page at great speed, then picked up a pen and signed his name. 10-shot cluster breath of the wild of light is way too OP. Oh, bow of light. Bow of light is way too OP. With that done, he stood up and opened a secret compartment in the wall, placing the document in a row of slots, all empty except for this one file. The other row, on the other hand, was stacked full of countless documents, but each one was labeled with the word failure. Only file 3684 was labeled success. From 17 years of records, not a single one was missing. Rotating the compartment, Ares took out a folder labeled Queen, then returned to his desk. Upon opening it, the first words his eyes fell upon were the name of a place, Twin Leaves Orphanage. Ares read on through the thin file, and after a few pages, the document went blank. Only in more recent entries did the recordings begin again. Wonder why the document went blank in a few places. The earliest was a report from Professor John. Isn't that the guy that recommended we go see Lucian? This person's name was stamped over with a red stamp, spelling out in clear letters, unqualified. There were 2 photographs in the file. One of the emaciated little girl lying on the sick bed all those years ago. Another of the girl all grown up, a faint smile on her face. The man looked at that smile for some time, then reached over and took out the picture. On the window, he wrote the numbers 1908. Then he drew an elongated arrow and placed the girl's picture at the end of it. Outside the window, the sky had finally broken out into a smattering of rain. His form reflected on the glass, becoming clearer and clearer as the sky darkened.
What are you looking at?
Hi. Suddenly, the man opened his mouth, but there was no one before him. Is he talking to me? I tried to throw off my shock and speak, but I was still unable to make a sound. The man let out a chuckle. I actually found myself thinking he looked much gentler when he smiled, more befitting the impression he gave all dressed in white. Hearing sounds that isn't exactly normal? Oh, fun.
I know you're here.
Why do you know I'm here? How do you know I'm here? Stop talking to me. I don't like this. I don't know why, but a calm came over me hearing the man talk to himself. Why am I calm? He literally just said, I know you're here. Ha 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 ha. Like all evilly and stuff. Why am I calm?
I'm telling you these things now, and you will not remember them later.
Okay.
But there will come a day when you can recall everything. Because no matter which world you're in, you are always you.
Okay. A rumbling sounded in my ears, and I wasn't sure if it was coming from me or the sound of thunder in that world. The man lightly tapped his marker tip to the starting point of the arrow. 1908.
Eval was born at this moment, and from then on, many futures have already been decided.
Okay. The marker tip turned to the photograph of the girl.
And you appear here, the only person who can change those futures.
I'm getting really, freaked out. What? He's talking to me about this. 1908. Okay. I gotta remember 1908, but he said I wouldn't remember anything, so... He looked at the photo, a complex expression in his eyes from which I could not see or even guess what he was thinking.
Sooner or later, you will try to change the future.
Okay, so let me. His voice turned cold, and he looked slightly upward. A bolt of flashing lightning rent the thick clouds overhead, lighting up the shadows in his eyes. The rain outside the window fell harder. The torrent snuffed out all light, and the darkness seemed to morph into a murky mirror in which only the man's reflection showed clear. For a moment, it seemed like two people standing face to face. The man looked at the girl's picture with lowered eyes, and the cold gaze reflected in the glass seemed to be staring through the void, straight at me. Excuse me. The corner of his mouth perked up in a half smile. Hello, Nito! For a little bit, I couldn't tell which was him and which was the reflection. Which one was staring at me and which one was speaking to me. How are you, Nito? The man seemed to be unaware of the whole thing. Then his reflection in the mirror lifted up his hands. The pair appeared suddenly out of the air, blurry and transparent, as if an illusion created by the light. A big patch of cracks appeared noiselessly in the glass. The reflection's last piece of clothing also separated from the mirror surface. The only difference was that there was no bandage. There was a bandage wrapped around his eye. I'm doing okay, but we just got into a really dark spot. Look at the hot dude, though. Look at the hot dude with the bandage over his eye. His name is Ares, but he looks like Lucian. The man before the mirror saw the glass suddenly crack, but instead of seeming shocked, he just laughed.
You did it after all.
I did it? Are you saying I did it? I know. I didn't know. I don't want this. Please tell me he's not telling me I did it. From my line of sight, the two identical men were in standoff, but also couldn't see each other. In this tense atmosphere, a knock at the door suddenly interrupted everything. Ares, 3684 has accepted. He asks that you come to the laboratory.
Then let's go.
Without delay, the man closed the file on the desk and departed from the room.
Have you ever heard of the observer effect?
No, but you told me I did something I probably shouldn't have done. Observer effect? Are you referring to the double slit experiments? A blank look came over the assistant's face. The man just chuckled without answering, and the door closed behind them. Alright, good luck. I hope you get some sleep, killer. Good night. Thanks for hanging out as long as you did. Pegasus X Rainbow Road. Indeed. Leaving behind the man by the window and a person who didn't exist here. Me. The man held out a hand onto a crack-filled window, an uncommonly cold gleam in his eyes that reflected the unstinting rain outside, and something else too. Another bolt of lightning crashed. I saw that the reflection in the glass at some point turned back into the man's original appearance.
You want to change the future. Do you know what's at stake?
I want to change the future. I want good Lucy and not scary Aries. How can I do this? This voice was distant, as if separated by layers of space and time, yet piercing against my eardrums. The man before me gave an indifferent look, then disappeared into his reflection. Then the reflection disappeared too. Wow! That was a lot. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. That was a lot to take in that wormhole. I'm pretty sure this is also a chapter starring Victor. Yeah, this is a chapter all about Victor, so let's go ahead and start it. And then we'll finish it next week. I've been doing good. Early summer afternoon, raindrops hang in the air. A little girl walks on the sidewalk, stepping briskly. A ginkgo leaf falls on the girl's head. She raises her hand and carefully places it in her pockets. In a shop window, a round-eyed little bear smiles sweetly at the girl. A camphor tree on the corner rustles in the wind, and the years slip by in the breeze. The girl turns the corner and sees a smiling young woman. You finally came back. I came to in a daze, the gentle face from my dream disappearing before my eyes. Oh no, the Pokemon Nintendo Switch, it's broken! Gurgle. Bubbles sputtered out of an oxygen bottle overhead. Whoa, they had to put me on oxygen. Holy crap. That's not good. That is not good. I looked around at a vast expanse of whiteness. It felt like I was in a dream. I tried to lift my hand, but didn't have the strength. My eyes fell on an IV needle stuck in the back of my hand. Just a little extra O2. You know what? You're right. I haven't had enough H2O today. Oh, just a little extra O2. Yeah, you said O2. Sorry, oxygen. But as soon as I saw O and 2, I was like, I haven't had H2O today. So my eyes fell on an IV needle stuck in the back of my hand. The fact that they had to put me on O2, though, is bad. Am I alive? Is this a hospital? What's going on? I wiggled my body and felt a searing pain down my back, like something was torn. H2O, good. O2, good. H2O2, not so good. True. I struggled to remember what happened. As if two large hands wiped the dust off my memory, the haze cleared. I remembered that Victor and I were filming a reality show, and he was pulling me down a corridor, and that indelible heart-piercing pain. And then nothing at all. What about Victor? Is he here too? How is he? I'd love to hear a joke, Mango Ninja. Victor? Two chemists walk into a bar. I impulsively called out his name, my hoarse throat causing some discomfort. The door opened, and I saw Victor's stupefied face. Splat. A document fell from his hand onto the floor. One chemist says, I'd like some H2O. Victor's throat quivered, and a million feelings flashed before his eyes, from shock to disbelief, and then replaced by joy and excitement. How long have I been out? Holy crap! In that instant, it was as if my memory lit up with sunshine, squeezing in through the cracks. I remember the boy I first met when I was 5, and that nightmarish struggle between life and death. I seemed to see rain suspended in the air behind Victor, and that boy with the soft eyes holding pudding in his hands. The other says, I'd also like some water. Also, why are you calling it that? You sound pretentious. Time was overlapping, and fate repeating itself. He was the first person I saw when I opened my eyes. The first Kim is sad that his assassination attempt has failed. Oh my gosh. My nose tingled for some reason, and I didn't know quite what to say. Victor was silent as well, and just closed the door lightly and walked over to me. I found myself wishing that he'd walk slower, giving me more time to think about what to say. Hi, Freddy! Should I ask him what happened after that day? Whether he was injured, or whether he remembered that he saved me all those years ago? Before I knew it, Victor was at my side.
You're awake?
Uh-huh. Just 2 short words, Victor's style as much as ever. I felt a bit relieved. How could I be so silly, worrying so much just then? I tried to sit up, but a surge of pain throughout my body prevented me from moving. Oxygen went on a date with potassium. It went okay. I get it. In chemistry, I had to memorize the whole entire periodic chart. And yeah, that was a pain.
Awake and restless.
Huh? Victor frowned and tucked me back in without even asking. Only my face poked out from the blanket. My round eyes stared out at him. Victor suddenly stopped tucking in the blanket, and then quickly left the room, as if remembering something. What are you...
I just forgot. I'm going to get the doctor.
He took a glance back at me and then lightly shut the door. Victor quickened his pace as he left. He didn't forget. He was just stupid. He wasn't sure if the girl had really woken up, or if this was just his recurring dream. He had so much he wanted to say, but the words stuck in his throat. In the end, all he said was, awake and restless. Actually, what he really wanted to say was, I'm just glad you're awake. I got a new card? But now my brain cells are gone. I get it. Oh, I get that. I got a new card. So I'll level it up as much as I can. Alright, cool. I can level it up to level 15. I'm gonna need that. I guarantee I'm gonna need that for future levels. Alright, here we go. Maybe I can join one of your collab streams that has all of your friends. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably be doing one eventually again soon, I would assume. I also have another collab coming up in the near future as well. But it's not going to be with Zombies Go Nom and Siren. It's going to be with some other people. Fell over on the way to ceremony and missed the premiere. Aww. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I'm going to pass this. I just barely. Oh my word. Just barely. Oh, that's bad. Please don't make me have to do another one. I think I got, my highest score was 130, so I got top 50%. I lay still on the bed, and the doctors carried out their examination. Yeah, I'm surprised how many people actually like this game. Well, the community choice is me dating Victor. But yeah, lots of people really like this game. I'm really surprised. Even though I had no idea what was going on, I was startled by the scene in front of me. About a dozen doctors were all standing around the bed. Seemed a little over the top. A doctor cranked the bed up and helped me roll over. I gritted my teeth at the pain and complied. Wanting to see what my wound was like, I tried turning my head, but it was too painful. Victor was suddenly at my side again. His hand lightly turned my head back and caressed my hair. He must have known long before how bad the injury was, but still, seeing it for the first time, Victor's finger twitched slightly. His eyes lingered on the girl's neck, the furrows in his brow twisting deeper than ever before. The doctors quickly finished their examination, and Victor left with them. Not long after, he came back, carrying that document he had dropped, and sat next to my bed. What did the doctor say?
The wound is deep, and it's very serious. You'll have to stay a while longer for observation.
Oh, that bad. Will there be any permanent damage? Will I be here long? Hearing him say that, I felt a panic. I wanted to sit up straight.
Don't fidget.
I couldn't really fidget if I wanted to right now. Victor's eyes flashed momentarily.
I'm here. You don't have to worry about anything.
Okay, so how long do I have to stay in the hospital?
2 weeks.
That long?
You were unconscious for a week. You think it's just a scratch?
As soon as he said it, Victor felt regret. He paused and then continued in a much gentler tone.
2 weeks isn't a long time. If you need anything, just tell me.
I see. Wait, I was unconscious for 1 week?
Yes, a whole week.
My head suddenly hurt, like something was rattling around that I couldn't pin down. I frowned. Victor stood up and leaned in front of me.
What's wrong?
He looked anxious, and I suddenly noticed his eyes were red, with heavy dark circles around them. He said I was out for a week. Was he here the whole time? I couldn't help but speak out. I'm fine. So, were you here the whole time?
Yes.
After making sure nothing was wrong, Victor settled back down. Here for 1 week?
Yes.
7 days. Victor had a look on his face like he was looking at an idiot. You have a monster to talk about today? Well, you better make it quick because I've got to end soon.
There are only 7 days in a week.
His voice sounded the same as usual, but just hearing it, I felt a soothing warmth wash over me. This man, who values time so much, actually spent an entire week looking after me in the hospital. If I hadn't insisted he take part in the show, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. And I fell right in front of him, just like when we were little. He must feel responsible. To be in the hospital like this, yeah. I got struck by like a huge thing of lightning or something. I was trying to keep Victor safe. A wave of guilt came over me, and I couldn't stop myself from saying, I'm sorry. Squash blight.
Why are you sorry?
That sounds interesting. Squash blight. Filming that show that day was my mistake. I didn't check out the details beforehand. And I got you wrapped up in it. Were you hurt? What happened to the show after that?
Don't think too much about that. You need to get some rest.
Seemingly unwilling to continue this thread, he stood up with great effort. Oh, He stood up. With great effort, I grabbed his shirt. Just a little jump start. Yep. But I still want to know. Victor looked at me and his brow twitched.
Get some rest first.
I wake up and find myself lying here. And then you tell me that a week has gone by and there's all these doctors. Pretty cool, but seems pretty fast. Hello, Giga Gamer. I like Victor. He is pretty cool. I'm confused, but I don't want to be kept in the dark. I have a right to know.
And you're so sure that I'll know?
I figure you'd go investigate. After all, you were pretty angry then. Victor took in a breath, somewhat resigned.
HBS quickly called off the program, and everyone on the staff was dismissed.
And then?
They left this country for good and have given up on competing in this region.
And that white light. Hearing these two words, Victor's eyes changed subtly.
Nothing like that will ever happen again. I'm still investigating the rest. You just need to take it easy. Don't worry about anything else.
But Victor didn't really give me a direct answer. He just kept insisting I stop thinking about it. But how can I not think about it? I felt a little flustered ever since I woke up. Since the moment I saw him, little snatches of childhood memories with him have been coming back. How did I all of a sudden start remembering these things? Are there more memories? I thought hard, but my mind was clouded. Why can I only remember things concerning Victor? Why was the show set exactly the same as my childhood? And even the same thing happened again. But all Victor told me was that it was a major misstep for the station, and HBS has left the market. I don't doubt his judgment, but is all that other stuff really just in my head? Before I'd snapped out of my thoughts, Victor was already at the desk flipping through documents. I finally started to really look around. It seemed more like a bedroom than a hospital room. An armoire, I can't say that. An armoire, sofa drawer, everything you could need, and a thick stack of documents on the desk that must belong to Victor. A jack-o'-lantern pumpkin-based monster who surprisingly has a southern accent. I'm not surprised he's a jack-o'-lantern because his name is Squash. When you said Blight, though, it makes me think of the Blight from Dead by Daylight. My gaze rested on him. His chin was a little stubbly, and his clean shirt had some wrinkles in it. Those details told me that he really had been staying here for a long time. Seemed hard to reconcile that this somber-faced man and the youth that saved me from the car accident were the same person. But looking again, I thought they must be the same person. Life is strange, sending me round in circles, reuniting with old flavors and old friends. While I stared blankly at him, Victor flipped quickly through a few pages and then closed them. He sighed and rubbed his forehead between his brows.
Now I'm certain that you like looking at my face.
This time it was a statement, not a question. No way! I was just looking at the document in your hand. I just blurted out something, trying to fast-talk my way out of being caught with my guard down. Oh, there's more. Okay. What time is it? Yeah, I gotta end it here, unfortunately, guys. It is time for me to go to work, is what time it is, unfortunately. Let me get this off of the screen. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-boop. Alright, guys. I have to end it here for now, because it's 9:15 and I gotta go to work, unfortunately. So, we don't get to see where this is gonna go until next week. Or at least, at very least, a not bad day. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I really do. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me that you guys are enjoying this game. Because it is one of my favorites on the cell phone right now. So, the fact that you guys really are enjoying it and actually hanging out in chat and reading the story. And people are actually rewatching the live stream to see the whole entire story. Really makes my day. So, thank you. And, of course, as always, guys, much love, everybody. I know, Freddy, I'm sorry. You'll have to tell me more about him later. Mwah! Go out there and go spread some love and positivity today because you never know who needs it. And I will see you guys again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I think we're going to be practicing our Icelandic and chatting. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it because I sure am. Much love, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of the night and take care of yourselves. Bye, everyone.